Okay, everybody, welcome to the RLCS Season 8 World Championship recap video. I thought about pulling up my predictions in another tab so we could analyze how I did and, see my record on my predictions, what I got right, what I got wrong. However, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about what happened in Day 1, Day 2, and Day 3. So, to start things off, we'll just go ahead and talk about Group A. I did get this Loki Veloce game right. I think I got the United game right as well. The only thing I didn't get right in this group is Loki got knocked out by Renegades, which was kind of surprising to me. So Veloce against Loki, I went back and watched that game because I couldn't watch a whole lot of Day 1 because I had school. The only series that I actually saw all the way through was... I don't actually remember. I don't know. It was one of these two games, I know that. But anyway, so Loki, they played really well. I thought they were one of the best teams here and had a shot moving into Day 3. The little bit of Day 1 that I watched. They fell against Renegades. Was it a reverse sweep? No, it wasn't. And I'll talk about Renegades more later on when we get to the Veloce Renegade series because, oh man, the way that ended was terrible. I hated that for Torsos, but Loki looked really well against Veloce. They did kind of exactly what I thought they would do. They kind of outpaced them, forced Veloce into awkward spots. They played like that against NRG, and even though it was a 3-0, there was an overtime in there every game except for Game 3 was a one-goal game. So I think if Loki wins game number 2 here in the overtime, they have a really good shot at taking that entire series. But I think after that, it was kind of over for Loki because reverse sweeping NRG, especially at this tournament, was not going to happen for anybody. E United against Renegades. I thought that they would rely too much on Hoxer, but they really didn't do that. Ajax played really well the whole day, and E United gets the 3-1 over Renegades, and then Vitality. Obviously, Vitality is Vitality. They're going to beat almost anybody. Trying to play, I think United was a 3 or 4 seed from North America. I'm not sure which one, but Vitality, they played pretty well against E United, and this series right here, NRG and Vitality, that was the series of the tournament up until the Day 3 series, which I'll get into that later. But this was the best series of the tournament up until Day number 3, and it was awesome. It was super fun to watch. NRG came out on top, 1-goal game in the game number 5. A couple overtimes in there. You got 3 overtimes, I think. 126, 104, and 149. Vitality winning 2 out of those 3. So they know how to win in overtime, but they just got to win in regulation was their main problem against NRG. So congrats to NRG, I guess, for qualifying and getting the top 4 right after Day number 2. Okay, now the part that's not going to be very fun because I hated this for Renegades, and I'll talk about that in a second. United versus Veloce. I hated to see E United go. Veloce got the reverse sweep over E United, which was not fun to watch. I think in game number 4 they got a lucky pinch goal with Casio and Shrieky that just flew into the net with like 40 seconds left, and then they got a 1-goal lead, and then they got 2 more goals after that because United, I think, was kind of tilted after that goal went in. But that wasn't a really fun series for me to watch because I'm an E United fan. I'm not going to say Veloce didn't deserve to be here because they got top 2, obviously, but they got lucky a lot, and that luck is going to run out at some point. And their luck also came in with this Renegade series. Renegades versus Loki. I really hated to see Loki get eliminated, but I was happy for Torsos to get a quality win in 2019. I think this is the second win for OCE in all of 2019 in general. And then they played Veloce, and honestly, Renegades, I thought they were the better team through the most part. And you can see here this 9-minute overtime between these two. It was a 0-0 overtime, 14 minutes of Rocket League to end like this.
Games. They're in the middle, Flame sends high. Oh my goodness, Torsos up for it. Back down, Sicky puts it away. Casio could win the game, but Kami has him blocked. And now back in front of the box, Torsos. Sicky wins! You're kidding! Absolute tragedy for Renegades!
Torsos taking his time. He knew he had all the time in the world to get up to it. And his teammate panics and just smashes it into their own goal. Tragedy as the the perfect word to describe that. You have got to be kidding me.
which wasn't really fun to watch. But so Veloce takes down Renegades 3-1 with an unfortunate ending. And then you got Group B down here. I got these two right. Space Station just clapped Canberra Havoc. Day number 1, Space Station, I thought was the best team at the whole thing. They were playing phenomenal. They took down Reciprocity 3-1. The problem with Reciprocity was when Reciprocity wins and they look like the best team in the world, it's when Chaussette is popping off and looking like the best player in the world. And they didn't have that this whole tournament. The only game they won was against the Three Sins, and even then they dropped a game. So, not particularly good for Reciprocity. Losing 3-1, winning 3-1, and then getting swept by Pittsburgh Knights. Not a very good look for Reciprocity. I think people had a lot more expectations for them, especially to make it to day 3, maybe to win the whole tournament. But, Pittsburgh Knights showed up, and Reciprocity didn't, and that's why Pittsburgh moved on. Dignitas, next to Space Station, Dignitas also looked like a really, really scary competitor to take the whole thing. And as we see here, Space Station and Dignitas both got the top 4 finish out of their group. So they were definitely the best 2 teams in their group, obviously. That's why they made winners finals. Dignitas took down Three Sins. That one was a little bit closer than I thought. And then Pittsburgh Knights, they come back and win 2 straight after dropping game number 3. And then they just absolutely clapped Space Station. Like it 5-0 in game number 3. 8-second overtime to win. I mean, Space Station did not look good in day number 2 when they played against Dignitas. Not much else to say about that. They looked super flat. Pittsburgh Knights, Canberra Havoc, not much to talk about. 7-4 game, 5-1, 4-0. Not even close for Canberra Havoc. And Knights didn't actually drop a single game in day 2. I forgot about that. But so Knights sweeping their way into day number 3. And Dignitas and Space Station coasting their way also to day number 3. And obviously NRG, Vitality, and Veloce move on. So, the playoff bracket went something like this. And I was super happy for this outcome. But Space Station versus Veloce. Veloce only scoring 1 goal in the last 4 games of the series. And you can see Space Station just kind of took it to him. Arsenal looked really good. Sibical he didn't play phenomenal, but he played like he was supposed to. But Arsenal was definitely the star player for Space Station all weekend long. Yeah, that's pretty much what you can say about Space Station and Veloce. I mean, Space Station, they lost the first game. They didn't look too great. They were missing easy touches, easy clears, missing shots. And then after game number 2, they just kind of ran away with it. Which was fun to see for me, because again, I'm a Space Station fan. I'm not a big fan of Veloce at all. Mainly because of that luck factor that I talked about earlier. Vitality versus Pittsburgh Knights. I believe they lost in overtime, yeah. So PK could have won this series if they didn't make a couple of mistakes. Every game was a 1-goal game. So PK definitely, they could have taken this and moved on and had a chance at a North America versus North America grand final. But K-Dop, man. K-Dop has to get at least 2nd place, or it's not a tournament, you know what I mean? So, I believe that's K-Dop's, 3rd? He made grand finals in Season 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 grand finals in a row, and he's won 3 of them. Whereas Turbo, he's been there since Season 3 also, and he's won 4 of them now, after getting the win over Vitality. This series, I forgot to talk about this, Dignitas versus Vitality. This, up until the grand final, this was hands down the series of the tournament. This had, I think game number 6 was the Aquino game, and this was one of the greatest games of Rocket League I've ever seen. I'm not a fan of Dignitas or Vitality, like super big, but this series, I was shaking by the end of it. It was awesome. And then we had to go to Champions Field after that, where Vitality finally won. But Game 6 overtime, you don't have to go back and watch a lot of these series, but at least go back and watch game number 6 between Dignitas and Vitality. They dropped 3-1, and if they lost game 5, 6, or 7, they were out, and they fought back in 2 overtimes in a row to force a game 7. And again, this game six, man, this was absolutely incredible. Uh, it was so fun to watch. I was kind of sad to see Dignitas go because I'm kind of a Violent Panda fan. I like his story of Dignitas, the kings of the game. They get knocked down by Cloud9 in season 6, and he's forced to rebuild his roster with Astral and Yukio. Then he comes back and plays really well, makes top 4, but gets knocked out to the eventual second place team. I'm not going to talk about the NRG Space Station game because it's NRG versus Space Station. NRG collapsed North America all the time. The only game they did was this one, 7-3, which was kind of the outlier, but I don't really know what happened there with NRG and Space Station in that game where Space Station won, but NRG, anytime they play another North American team, they pretty much always win. Whoa, excuse me, that was a weird noise, but NRG and Vitality, I'll talk a little bit about this, and I'll show some clips from the finals. And NRG finally won. Justin, man, you can't talk enough about him in that game number 7. He showed up. He gets that first goal with the bump, the mid-air demolition, onto, I think it was Scrubkilla in net. And, well, I won't talk about the goal, I'll just show you.
Potential counter-attacking opportunity. Very Pete. Over to K-Dom. And Justin doesn't want to see any of it.
Good
now
cut from
back
Turbo.
to Justin. Who's he got left? One-on-one. For the
Johnson with the biggest demo of his life.
So yeah, that's how they took the lead. And then Vitality gets a clunker of a goal to tie it up.
It's going to be Ferry. Takes control. Another run attempted. It's going to stick it. Ferry Pate. What tie?
A battle on the goal line. And finally, Vitality plant their flag.
And this was the final shot of the tournament.
Can he have a different result this time? Great play to this corner. Ferry Pete. He's got past 2 players. Looks for a bump. Garrett G clears one.
Justin!
Justin!
NRG do what they could not do before. Justin, his 0-second goal kept their hopes alive in London, and now an overtime goal fulfills their dreams of a world championship.
And yeah, that's basically it for Season 8 World Championships. Kind of sucks for E United. You saw Hawkser tweeted about it. He said, "We got knocked out. I got in the same place as Spy Doge," and then he made fun of himself for missing a wall read. So he wasn't too happy about that. Torsos was devastated with the way that 9-minute overtime ended, because he had the save, and then Siki came in and he didn't. I guess Torsos didn't call it, or Siki panicked. But either way, Veloce won that. They shouldn't have, in my opinion, but what are you gonna do? So that's it for Season 8 LAN recap. Leave your comments down below what you want to see next from me. If you want me to do more RLCS talk or talk about the pro teams or whatever, let me know. And I got some more videos on the way, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Have a good day.